No, I'm good. Okay. Um, okay.
Okay. Hello. Can you hear me? Those on the Gather Town? Okay. Namaste. Hello and welcome. So, welcome to another exciting day in the world of Nalanda debates. So we tried something at the last evening's in-person session, and I think there is some mini breakthroughs. The people here, and so I want to line participants so we can all have more practice in how to actually run a debate. Okay?
You're freezing all over the place online. 1 second, everybody.
I'm freezing online, but I'm sweating in person.
Is anyone pulling any data? Any large?
I have one giga. control with mine.
No, I'm saying if anyone connected to the Wi-Fi that's got some automatic update or anything.
Yeah, you can take out the video or use right, yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Okay, I've got we can't take out the video.
we want the video.
The Wi-Fi is on. I don't know. All right, just try again. Maybe it just needed a minute to readjust.
Okay.
Yeah, that should be clear.
From- Okay. Hi, and welcome to another exciting day in the world of Nalanda debate. So, last night at the practice session at 8 p.m., we did a more interactive kind of exercise that I think some of the in-person participants here found very useful. So I wanted to try to replicate that exercise also for the benefit of our online participants. Okay? And so the purpose of this is to, get out of the workbooks and actually learn by doing and start to formulate some statements, both thesis statements, pervasion statements, and then get into the flow of debate when the person answers, how we then respond, how we then continue the debate based on the previous answers they've given. Okay? All right. So, I want to ask who is feeling a little bit less than confident in how we're running these pervasion thesis statements type of debates. Okay, so Nishita and now I've forgotten your name, but it's with a ta. T? Yes? Taruna. So thank you for volunteering. Let us invite you to the stage. Maybe your applause is premature. No, I'm joking. No, thank you for the courage.
Just grab it and it's not us.
Right. Thank you for volunteering. You're next. Yeah. Okay, please sit. Okay, so everyone online, we can hear. You can hear? Merci. Okay, so now, actually, let's do it for real. Who wants to stand? Only one. Okay, thank you. Yeah, we won't need this. Okay, so now what we're going to do, now the camera's there, okay, so a little stage direction. You want to be like this so the people can see you. Okay, open the body. No, don't close off. Yeah. Okay, now what we're going to do, we'll start with a pervasion statement. Okay, so now you think, choose something where there's actually, hold on, don't listen. No pervasion. Okay. And then after we do that, how you would think we run the debate. Okay? So let's try. Oh, yeah. Okay, so I'll be here so you can kind of use this microphone. Actually, you know what? Just hold that. I'm talking to the microphone. Okay? You can pin it to your collar. Yeah. No, the other way. Yeah. So like this, pin it. Okay. How do we start? Nice.
If it's a flower, then it's necessarily yellow. Why? If it's a flower, then it's not necessarily yellow.
I accept.
Pause it.
Jasmine.
Take the subject jasmine. It follows it is a flower.
I accept.
Take the subject jasmine. It follows it is not yellow.
I accept.
Very, very good. Now you can all applaud. Okay? That's part one. So now I'm do something saying that use if it's a flower, it's necessary, not yellow. Okay.
If it's a flower, it's necessarily not yellow.
White.
If it's a flower, then it's not necessarily not yellow.
I accept.
Pause it.
Chrysanthemum.
Okay. Yeah.
Take the subject, chrysanthemum. It follows, it's a flower.
I accept.
Take the subject, chrysanthemum. It follows, it is yellow.
I accept.
I'm very impressed. I'm very happy. So thank you. Thank you. Okay. We'll take this back. Okay, great. So now, let's see. Let us include some of our online participants. Okay? So, is there anyone from the online world that is a little bit like, what the heck did they just say? I don't know what they're talking about. Okay, so if so, bring your avatar or whatever you want to call it onto the stage. You're not perfectly understanding it is you volunteering. Okay. The first two to arrive to the stage get the honor of doing it. So it's also a test of your avatar moving abilities. Now, is there a way I can hear this?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Huh? No, I don't want to sit. I want to hear. I don't want to sit. Okay, so while this is all happening, who wants to be the questioner and who wants to be the defender?
I'd rather be the defender.
Okay, questioner. Okay, I can't hear any of you. So questioner, whoever raises their hand first, the challenger.
Okay, I'm the
Okay, Zalo.
questioner. I will stand up. You cannot hear.
Yeah, just wait a second.
Okay, so just wait a second.
Okay, now
Now I want to mute. So mute that. I'm going to say something. All right. So if you understood what was going on in our last exercise, okay? Huh? They kind of hear. Okay. So what I want you to do, Zalo, if you could follow what we did on our last one, I want you to start with a pervasion statement. And Marina, cover your ears for a second. Okay? So first, Zalo, I want you to start with a pervasion statement that doesn't hold. Okay? So what we had here is if it's a flower, it's necessarily yellow. Okay?
Yes.
And then,
Yes.
how would you progress from that debate? Okay? And
Okay.
let's see.
Great.
Then after that, well, let's do this one first.
Let's
okay.
just do this. Okay. Yes.
Yeah? Okay.
Mhm.
So let's see how you do, okay? I'm gonna mute now,
Okay.
and I will be listening.
Great. B. So if it's a football player, it's necessarily Argentinian.
No variation.
I think you should answer like I accept or why.
Why? Why?
If it's a football player, then it's not necessarily Argentinian.
I accept.
Posit an example.
David Beckham.
Take the subject David Beckham. It follows he is a football player.
I accept.
Take the subject David Beckham. It follows he's not Argentinian.
I accept. You're muted.
Do we have to continue? Or
Momento, por favor.
okay, yes.
Is it gonna happen?
Okay, so very, very good. All right, so now please try with a not. If it is X, then it is necessarily not. Whatever, Y. Okay? Thank you.
Okay. Okay. So if it's a politician, then it's necessarily not a lawyer.
Why?
If it's a politician, then it's not necessarily not a lawyer.
I accept.
Posit an example.
The Argentinian economic minister, Massa. Creo que so well. I think it's not a lawyer.
But I
He's a
think
bullring. Anyway.
should she posit an example of someone that is a lawyer, I think now.
The president of Argentina.
Right. So take the subject, the president of Argentina, Alberto Fernandez. It follows he is a lawyer.
Accept.
Take the subject, the Argentinian president, Alberto Fernandez. It follows he is a politician.
Accept.
Right.
I'm speechless. Very, very good. Yeah, muy bien. Muchas gracias.
Thank you.
So, if you two were the ones who were expressing that you're a little bit shaky with your confidence, that means everyone who didn't come up on the stage should have this, so well understood. Is that right? Is there anyone who is not feeling confident? I see Deepa already shaking her head. So we can have 2 more from the online community because, you know, it's a little bit out of sight, out of mind. So Zalo and Marina, thank you for your participation. And yeah, you can go back to your seats. I mean, your virtual seats. And then Deepa, thank you for volunteering. I can read lips, even though you're muted. I saw. So, and the shaking the head, no, you come up to the stage, please.
I'm here.
Yeah. And then one more, your friend. So actually, okay, so I'm going to say this. It's more educational for everyone online and everyone here if you will make a mistake. Okay? Andrew. Okay? Now I can't hear you guys for some technical reason. So hold on. I'm going to mute myself.
I have no idea what to do. Okay.
Oh, Marina did. Who's going to be the questioner?
Andrew, please be the questioner.
Okay, so Deepa, you'll be the questioner. Andrew, you'll be the answer. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you. And just do like that. A provision statement first,
Okay.
saying something. If it is A, then it's necessarily B. See how it goes. And then if it's A, it's necessarily not B. Okay? And let's see how we do.
Yeah. B. It follows that if it is a building, then it's necessarily an office building.
Why?
It follows that if it is a building, it is not necessarily an office building.
I accept.
Okay. Then I don't know where to go with this. Help, what do I do next? Yeah, I have no idea what to do next.
Okay, so now we have an example of when you've asked if there's a provision between from, and the defender has said there's no provision. Okay. So to put it in more colloquial language, we're asking, you know, when we say if it is an office building, is it necessarily, sorry, if it's a building, is it necessarily an office building? So how do we say that in more colloquial language? We say, is every single building an office building? Okay.
Right.
So how do we disprove that? We find one example of what? A building that is not an office building. Okay. So Andrew, when he says why to that provision statement, he's saying that because, and you should only be saying that because I have in mind that counter example. Okay?
Right.
So now Deepa, what you do, then you ask, posit that counter example. Posit it.
Okay.
Okay?
One thing I wanted to ask is that why is it when you start with a provision, you're saying, yeah, you can hear me, right? No? No, I have a question.
Yeah, go with your question.
Yeah, I can't. I have a question for him and he's not hearing me.
Yeah, I think he is hearing you.
Is he hearing me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, my question is, when you started with the provision, I thought with provisions you're supposed to say, you're not supposed to say I accept and why.
Yeah, because the privation was the reason, not true or no.
Although it's you're stating a provision, it actually you're just like drills, right? So just like when we when we're playing a sport, we might only like start to work on our throwing ability. I'm sorry, there's two Argentinians last, right? So, but not necessarily soccer players. Then we're just working on a structure that's going to come up again and again. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah. So let's work on this structure, and then we'll move on to other structures when we've demonstrated the ability that we have this. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, so continue. Actually, why don't you start over from the beginning, and then, yeah, we'll continue.
Okay, we'll start with the same thing, I guess. If it is a building, then it is necessarily an office building.
Why?
Then what do I do?
Posit an example. Ask me to posit an example.
Okay, posit an example.
Not yet. Right?
Okay.
So we're starting from the beginning, right? So it follows that if it's a building, it's necessarily an office building. Why?
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So my advice to all of you is when your defender says why, then you can modify your last statement, putting in a negation word, whereby their next answer, they're forced to say, I accept.
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah.
They're saying why means they deny your last statement. So if you then add a negation word to that statement, then they'll have to accept. So now, do that.
Right. If it
now
is.
Be careful where you put that not.
Right.
Okay? Now, go ahead.
I mean, it's more fun if you say necessarily not, but okay. if it's a building, then it's not necessarily an office building.
I accept.
Okay. Posit an example.
The flat where I am at the moment.
Okay. Now what do I? Sorry, I don't know what to do after that. He's giving me an example.
Okay. All right. So now, remember, whatever example he's giving, okay, what does that have to do? Because he's trying to disprove the provision. He denied the provision. Okay.
Right.
So that example he's now giving has to fulfill two criteria.
Okay.
What does that building have to do that it can disprove the original provision statement? It has to be something, and it can't be something.
Right, exactly.
So what does it have to be?
And building, and it can't be an office building.
Very good. Okay. So now you're going to check. You ask him those two statements in order. Okay. So you use his subject that he's given you, and then you ask those if those properties hold.
Okay.
So try.
Yeah. Take the subject, the flats across the street. That's what you said, right?
No, the flat he's in now.
The flat you're living in now. That flat is not a whole building.
Now that's also an interesting point, but yeah.
Take the subject, your flat. It follows that it's a building.
I accept.
But it's not. Okay, so now it gets interesting, right? No, but okay, but hold on. In debate, you don't just say, but it's not, right? We're using reason and logic to prove it. So if you might think, hey, wait a minute, but it's not a building. Right. What reason could you say to now establish that his flat is not a building? Why isn't it a building, in other words?
It's only part of a building.
Okay, so don't tell me. I'm not the one who needs convincing. Now you say it to Andrew. How do you say that in formal debate language? take the subject, your flat.
Oh, I say it. I thought you were talking to him.
Yeah, you're the challenger.
Yeah, take the subject, your flat. It follows that it's a building. He accepted that.
Yeah.
Then I say, take the subject, your flat. It follows that it is not an office building.
Mm-mm. Wait a minute. Do you agree that it's a building?
No, I don't. Then I don't know what
Right.
happens.
No, okay. So now, he has just said, okay, if I was that it's a building, he said,
Right.
I accept,
Right.
okay? Now, what do you want to prove?
I still want to prove that the original provision, which is that if it's a building, it's necessarily an office building.
Okay, so now, in this case,
Mhm.
right, for Andrew to come up with the valid counterexample, it has to have those two properties. He has to supply a subject that is what? A building, but not an office building.
Yeah.
Okay? So then, for example, if he gives you a counterexample that's not a building,
Mhm.
then that is not going to work, right?
Right.
Right?
Right. Doesn't work.
Right? So don't let him off the hook, right?
Okay.
If he said, my rubber ducky,
Mhm.
right? Then you don't then have to ask the second question, oh, it follows it's not an office building.
Right.
That doesn't matter,
Mhm.
right? The point is, it's not a building. So you have
Yeah.
to continue down that line,
Yeah.
okay?
Things I don't know. I don't know what to do.
Okay, but that's why I'm here.
Okay.
Okay, so how are we going to do? We're going to now try to prove that Andrew's flat is not a building, right? That's what you believe. How do we do that in formal logic? The logical vocabulary.
I mean,
We
I would
take
have
a
to
subject.
say- yeah.
We take a subject.
Right. Take the
So what's the
subject,
subject?
your flat.
Hmm? And now what do you want to prove about it?
It follows that it is not a building.
Clap.
Okay.
Yeah. Now Andrew will have to say accept or not. I'm going to get a chair.
It's going to be a while.
Why?
So, by the way, can you guys all hear this? Yes. Really? Wow.
Oh, I wish you could. Okay.
Okay, so it says why.
Why?
Yeah. So now, we should know this from the beginning. When then someone says why to your last statement, you are now going to give a reason. Because.
Okay. Because it's only part of a building.